I speak about Zozi, I think about how she opened a door and I just simply walked through it. When she said, see your face reflected in mine, I saw my face, and that's the reason I entered, and that's the reason I'm sitting here today. I don't feel intimidated at all. I feel inspired to do better, to actually carry on where she left off, to take the baton and just move it forward and make a change, to actually show that we are empowered, we are beautiful, we are diverse, we are resilient.
Wow.
Yes.
Today we are blessed to be sharing this moment with Usotufatu Musita. Now she was crowned as Miss South Africa 2020, but let's have a look at that beautiful moment.
Of the 62nd Miss South Africa title is
this afternoon, just 3 days after you were crowned. Now, as you look back at that moment when Unomzamo Mbatha announced you as the 2020 Miss South Africa, I mean, what emotions rushed back?
Right now, all I feel is joy. I looked at that video and I couldn't help but smile. Because I think in that moment you realize my life has just changed forever. Because you stand on the shoulders of so many great women and you realize the responsibility that's there now, but also the privilege.
Yeah.
I just remember the feeling of just saying, thank you, Lord.
And it's in those grateful moments that we kind of see your shine and your internal strength and your grace. I mean, just if we were to reflect back on last year's winner, we had also Vini coming through, and she definitely put South Africa on a global map and a global scale to say that, hey, look, we're more than just beauty, but we're brains. When you look back at your successor, how does that feel, and does it feel like you've got major shoes to fill?
Every single time when I speak about Zozi, I think about how she opened a door and I just simply walked through it. When she said, see your face reflected in mine, I saw my face, and that's the reason I entered, and that's the reason I'm sitting here today. I don't feel intimidated at all. I feel inspired to do better, to actually carry on where she left off, to take the baton and just move it forward and make a change, to actually show that we are empowered, we are beautiful, we are diverse, we are resilient.
Wow.
Yes.
And that is exactly what you exemplify. You definitely walk the talk when we look at you. But moving forward, as you were to look at your reign in 2021, what areas of focus are you most excited to tackle?
As I said before, like when we had the interview, I'm very passionate about mental health. Mental health is a big thing for me. I've always been passionate about mental health and educational and economic empowerment, but I realized that we cannot tackle economic and educational empowerment when the mind is not okay. Once we tackle the mind, we tackle the powerhouse. We tackle the very thing that actually helps us move forward. Right now, mental health is considered as a conversation that is a taboo, that is often engaged with not to rehabilitate, but rather to shame. And we need to change that as a society, because if the mind is conquered, we are not going anywhere.
Absolutely. And on that same note, when you just do reflect on the mind and the community you come from, it seems as if a lot of people that might come from a small town of Vendala in Limpopo, that they might not be able to walk on a stage as great as the Miss SA stage. And you know, on the Sunday morning after you were announced, I randomly thought to a friend of mine, I wonder what I wonder what Shutu's mom feels. I wonder what her people, the tribe that raised her, when they see you elevated in this way. Is it a pinch yourself type of moment?
First thing my mother said to me when she came on stage, she said, I am so proud of you. That's the first thing she said. And I think that's when everything came full circle for me, because every child wants to hear their mother say that, I am so proud of you. With my village, they are beaming with joy. I've seen videos and I've been getting messages. And to think that I grew up on the streets of Amasia, playing there with every single person that I saw in that video, I think back to myself, like I remember when I was 8 watching the Miss South Africa show, and I would sit there and I would still dream.
Wow.
Irrespective of my surroundings or the limitations that seem to be there, I would still dream regardless. So to every single child who comes from a place like where I come from, dream anyway. Your dreams are valid. I promise you that your dreams are valid. God always changes the narrative, and that's the reason I'm sitting here today.
And not only does he change the narrative, but he hears you. I believe that as soon as you speak a word into the universe, it's all ears and it's all systems go at that stage. We have a beautiful full circle moment that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 weeks ago, I remember, girl, we had a Zoom call and we were discussing the fact that this is your very first pageant that you've ever entered. Now talk about being competitive, Mzansi. She decided to walk away with the title on top of it. Now, how does it feel gearing up for such an incredible day? 3 weeks ago to now.
3 weeks ago when we were speaking, I just realized the gravity of what's happening. It's my first pageant, but then I realized that irrespective of that, when the universe is in agreement and is in alignment to what's supposed to happen, it will happen anyway. After speaking to you, I felt like everything, when you speak about what you stand for and you speak about why you are doing what you're doing, you find that things realign not only for the universe, but also for you. 3 weeks ago, I remember what I was doing. Oh, I was actually doing assignments.
Yeah,
I was actually doing assignments, and then I was just like, no, I need to take a break. I need to concentrate. So 4 days before the pageant, I actually stopped doing schoolwork, and I handed in my last presentation, and I decided that I'm going to finish everything after the pageant. And I started. What did I start? I started enjoying myself. I had this calmness in me that I couldn't explain. Yeah.
This is the calmness and this is the grace that we're going to be experiencing throughout the entire hour on Afternoon Express. Now, we're feeling so privileged in this moment, not only to spend this hour with you, but we do believe it is your very first television interview since you were crowned. So we do appreciate it coming to you live.